Bet you didn't expect this. 1 week, all it took, and something new. I know. I'm getting better at this. I promise. I'm gonna try jump cuts throughout today too, see if that works. New editing skill. Act like a YouTuber. See, I don't know how they do it, but I'm gonna find out. It seems like you just chop all of the air out of people's sentence so that it moves faster and prevents people's eyes from staying focused for a short period of time. So I think the method for doing that is you just go stream of consciousness and just continue to talk nonstop. But today I found some framing footage a little bit, so I thought I'd show you that, as well as going over a little bit about what I'm doing for insulating. I know Australia insulating, what the heck, but I'll explain a little bit more about that. It's still important. Insulating is not about keeping things warm, it's about keeping a constant climate. So yeah, we want insulation just as much as in the hot weather, just as much as you want in the cold weather. So we'll be doing that a bit, and then I think you'll also probably see a little bit of wiring, just kind of wiring up, not the system, I'm going to save that for the next video, but the walls, so where the actual outlets will go at. We're not putting the outlets in until close to the very end of the build, but you'll see at least the cables running through the walls before the walls get put up. I'm still guinea pig sitting this week, as well as it is blistering hot these next couple days. So for one thing, I don't want to leave these guinea pigs away too long without being able to refresh their ice. But also, I don't really want to work in this. It's nasty. It's feeling like 37 through 39 degrees Celsius. So I'd melt, and I'm not wearing a fur coat. So yeah, I thought, lucky you guys, I actually get to work a little bit more on this editing thing. So without further ado, I guess here is some framing footage. Enjoy. So this is actually arguably maybe pseudo framing. The next pieces that I'm cutting here are not actually framing pieces, but pieces of plywood that are going to squish up against some of the insulation next to the windows. And that was purely to create as much space as I could in the van width-wise. So there's not going to be any framing behind this, but there's not really going to be anything else hanging off of it, so not really a big deal. So this is just me cutting out the holes for the window.
Pretty good. Whew. First try. Getting better at this. Eye safety. Yeah, so working more on the framing here. These little pieces are gonna connect to build a bit of a grid that'll be able to attach the walls to, as well as any kind of heavier pieces, so that they don't move around. And they're kind of structurally attached to the wall or to the van. And so to do that, using a little jig that you can buy for not only for cabinetry, I think is what it's for, but it's an inset, so it creates little spots that you can drill the screws out the end onto while keeping everything flat. And so that's what I'm doing. There, that's what it looks like. It would be nice if I could just cut every piece and do this all and get into a little bit of a groove. And I did that yesterday for the other side. But this side is just not as straight, unfortunately. Either there's a piece of wood or something at the van's structure that I'm working off of isn't quite as straight, so kind of got to measure, cut, measure, cut, measure, cut. So not as industrious, but it's all good. You gotta do it all anyways. So, and this is the result. So these pieces screwed on there, you can see really sturdy, shaking the whole van. And I'll be able to attach whatever I want to those. So that's that side done. Starting this, I've got the little ones to do, as well as the big ones on this side. Big ones around that window. So it looks something like this. Here I'm starting to run wires through what will inevitably be the walls for the various different electronics that I'm going to have in the van. So I'm going to have a fridge in probably the worst potential place for the electrical. It's going to have to go all the way around. The stove needs a little bit of electrical just for the spark. The water pump will need electrical. The water heater won't. Lights obviously need electricity, and then plugs in a couple spots so that I can charge things, or plug in small appliances like a blender or a toaster. So just routing these all while I have things nice and open. With some insulation board and some plastic poly-based foam or wool as well, just to fill the crevices that are too frustrating to try and fill with this stuff. So, work on that today. Using a basic spray adhesive to attach board to wall, and then it'll get squished in with other stuff around it afterwards, so not too worried about it holding. This will also help with sound, which is nice.
So that's all for this one. Slowly picking away at it, slowly catching you up. The next one that comes out, I almost said next week, but let's not be too hopeful here. The next one that comes out, I'm going to talk about electrical, and I also have the roof rack that I've already done to catch up on as well. So hopefully getting through those in the next next few weeks, as well as working on new stuff, including putting some furniture together and really starting to build out the interior. So hold on for that one. But to end this one off, I thought I'd leave with a few pics that I took in the last couple nights. Actually had the benefit of seeing a comet in the sky from Brisbane here these last few days. It actually was visible to the naked eye, which is pretty cool, and managed to get a few pictures of it. So enjoy those and see you soon.